Hello and welcome, everyone. My name is David Jones, otherwise known as Boot to the Head, member of the Rogues Gallery. Today, I am here to bring you a deck for the new standard of Ixalan. So, let's break it down. What are we looking at here? Well, it's essentially an Anointed Tokens deck of old, but with a few little tricks thrown in here and there. Mainly Ruthless Knave and Vraska's Contempt. Pretty much the only really new cards to be put in here, but why did we put these in here? Well, let me tell you. So, Ruthless Knave, 3 mana, 3/2, with the abilities of 3 sacrifice a creature, create 2 colorless treasure artifact tokens that, sack for mana. The second ability, though, sacrifice 3 treasures to draw a card. Now, if you were to match that up with Anointed Procession, every creature you sack with just 1 procession gives you 4 treasure tokens. So you can think of it like this. For every creature you sack, you get 4 tokens. You can use 3 of those tokens to sack another creature and get 4 more tokens. So you're netting 1 every time you do this process. So you're going to need a lot of creatures to do this with. To do that, we have the Hidden Stockpile, Anointed Procession, make a million tokens, that kind of deal. Imagine if you had 2 Anointed Processions out. You can see that it's going to get out of hand very quickly. So, what do we do with all those treasure tokens? That's a good point. I'm glad you asked. With the insane amount of treasure tokens that we create, not only can we easily turn on Hidden Stockpile, we can also finish them off with Marionette Master. That's the win condition of the deck. Insane amount of reach. Think about it. If you were to play the Master and fabricate all the counters onto, I guess that's a her. So with the 3+1/+1 counters, power of 4, every time you sack a treasure, you're dealing 4 damage. That closes out a game very quickly, especially when you have a lot of treasure. So we basically have to survive until that point. There definitely comes a point where you are just overloading the board and your opponent just can't do anything. So how do we survive to that point? Let's take a look. We have the creature base, which is the Sacred Cat. Obviously, it Embalm 1, come back. If you have Anointed Procession, makes a couple tokens. Hidden Stockpile seems a pretty good sack target to turn on. We also have the Anointer Priest. Gains us a million life. Not a million, but the Doom Dissenter. When it dies, you make a 2/2 token. Obviously, really good with this Anointed Procession, plus a good sack target. Dream Stealer, pretty good. You get in there, get that menace, make him discard cards. Also can be eternalized. Not bad. Imagine making 2 of these. Yeah, imagine just making 2 of these with Anointed Procession. Just seems really gas. And then you have Vraska's Contempt. This is the concession to, say, Hazaret or any of the gods, any need for Planeswalkers, instant speed type removal is just key. We also have the 4 fatal pushes. So the only interaction we really have are those 7 pieces. Let's take a look at the land base. Now, Black-White is obviously not the best land base there is, given that we just had a few things rotate out. So what are we looking at here? We're looking at 4 Concealed Courtyards, 4 Evolving Wilds, Field of Ruin. I'm thinking I might want to go up more on these, but I'm not sure the deck can handle the colorless requirement. It might be able to, but it's a great way to turn on Hidden Stockpile plus fix your mana, because it doesn't actually slow you down. I mean, yeah, it takes a turn to activate, but it doesn't slow your mana production down, I guess is what I'm trying to say. Then we have Plains. Sheffet Dunes is one of those cards I think belongs in this deck because of the fact you go so wide that just making all your guys +1/+1 and swinging for the fences tends to close out games too if you can't get the Marionette Master plan going. Swamps and then a couple Forsaken Sanctuaries. Not the best. It is what it is. Let's take a look at the sideboard. So over here, we've got Authority Authority of the Consuls. That is just a concession to the red decks. Gain some life, stop the hasty creatures. Fragmentize is a neat thing for any sort of artifacts or enchantment-based decks. One of them is the Blue-white approach deck, and their cast outs, you can get rid of them and get back your anointed processions or your hidden stockpiles, whatever. Then you have Duress, is just a great card against blue-white approach, which I suspect is going to be a big thing. I could be wrong. I hope I'm wrong, but we'll see. So we got a 4 of there. Just to take their sweepers, take their counters, take their approach of the second sun, whatever have you. Solemnity for the energy decks. Not sure the one of is where I want to be, but we're going to start there. Sun Scourge Champion, pretty good against the red decks and anything like a removal heavy type deck, because you can bring them back. Dreamstealer for the control decks. Lost Legacy, once again, another concession for blue-white approach. As you can see, I don't like that deck, so I'm hoping not to face it, but if I do, I want to be well prepared for it. So that is the deck. Oh, I forgot to tell you, Dusk to Dawns, 3 of them, main board. Reason for this is that dinosaurs I believe, are going to be a thing, and Dusk to Dawn just blows them out of the water, especially if they're playing, the 5 drops on turn 4, or they're big dinos, the Ripjaw Raptors, stuff like that. This is just non-damage removal that just cleans their board while it leaves behind our little dinky 1/1s. So that is the deck. Let me know what you think in the comment section down below, and let's get on to the game, shall we? All right.